Hello, my name is Craig Fries. I'll be showing you my app called Prayer Buddy. It's designed to help you remember the impressions that come to you while you pray, and it's most akin to a task list. So as you can see, we have a completed task, bring James cookies. We can always go ahead and add a new one. Let's say we want to compliment our neighbor, then description, tomorrow after school. And we want to do it at a scheduled time, in which case we'd be able to have the opportunity to select a time with a scrolling wheel and a date on the calendar. And then we can save that, and then it pops up here, and then you can press check, and it incorporates two different lists. You can always edit and delete at any point in time. And then once we have done something as well, or even before, we can always check back and look at that and edit more stuff, press save, and then it's back there for when we're ready to do it again. And it all works if you close the app here, and you go back into Prayer Buddy, all the data is still stored. So if we look over at the code, we use persistence, which is a built-in module through core data in Swift. It's within Xcode, and this is the controller that allows the ability to store data into the model. And the model is really interesting. It's within this XC data, and so we can see we create an entity called task item, and then all the associated attributes here. And then this is what we reference in the daytime. So for people that may have done web development or anything like that, and they're familiar with model view controller, these would be akin to your getter and setters, but it's all done natively within Xcode. And then you can see this is what we use to see when it's completed. But most interestingly is probably the views. So you can have a view uses state variables to update the data, which is apparently an update from the previous version of Swift, and I've never used those before, but it sounds like before you always had to redefine and update the model and save every single time you wanted to update on the view. Well, now anytime that you modify a state variable, it will automatically represent itself on the view. And so we have some navigation link spacers. Spacers are self-spacing, and it equally divides the space with the leftover pixels allotted to it, and then different properties that I got the chance to play around with. So that's for the floating button in the center. The main screen here is task list view, and I use a V stack and a Z stack. This is how I get the button to sit atop the list is through a Z stack, because it adds that Z dimension. And on delete, we tell it what to perform here. And it uses a loop, and it goes over to this edit and view when we click on the button, and it has an appropriate form where we get the chance to update based off of the selected items and map the values in the form to various items in the model. And then you can see this is what a cell looks like. And when we pass it, and when things get checked off, we have that checkbox view, which is the green check there. And then assets, I use the standard gray accent color. And then this is of course that, and then the date holder is actually what I use to save and ensure that the dates are standardized. And then I have my README on the top level of the app. But thank you for your time.